Hey guys, welcome back to his mods. Sorry it's been a few days. I've been busy with real life work and work on the channel and getting stuff ordered here and there, and I have all this now. So I have some good news at the end of the video for you guys that are waiting on a certain blaster. But for now, we're going to focus on the elephant in the room here, the Longshot. Now, we've all grown to love the Longshot for the price range at $30 or $31. You can't beat it stock. But when it first came out, we already did notice that there were a few problems with it, the plunger tube being number one. So I'm going to show you how you can basically make this comp ready, which is about 200 to 200 FPS inside, and also with cosmetic kits on the outside from various people. Now I have here some products. I have a cheek rest that was actually just printed last night from my buddy Goop, who is actually going to be opening up an Etsy shop over the next week. So I believe he's going to run me some samples of what he's going to be selling next week so I can promote his shop and get him going. From OutofDarts for the Longshot, or the short dart mag adapter only for back here. So I don't really need this. I can just throw this in there and use the short rounds, because that's pretty much all I'm using this for. Now this is a stock Longshot, brand new out of the box. Still see the darts here and here. I haven't done anything to it yet. So we also have a collet set from OutofDarts. Now it comes with two of these. This one is, you can just twist it in and you can just use it with the regular barrel if you're just going to use it as is. Or, which we're going to do, is we're going to twist in this one, and this one will let you swap out any barrel that you like. If you notice the difference, it's not kind of rifled in there as the one that comes with stock. You can kind of see some lines in there, so it's kind of rifled a little bit. But we're going to use a curry barrel, or curryaki barrel, the same one that I have in my other Longshot, and Luke from OutofDarts now sells these. So if you want one, I'll leave a link in the description along with everything else, of course. And then I also got a plunger tube from him as well. So that's pretty cool. And this is one of those metal, metallic alloy, black anodized plunger tubes, because I did want a black one eventually. And then of course I got basically the full kit from Drac. I don't know the name of it. It was just the full kit. So his kit comes with the top rail, which is pretty cool. The mag release back here. I don't know which this piece is yet, but I'll get into it. But I know it goes back here somewhere. Comes with a stylish cosmetic butt plate, a safety delete, and a pump grip. I think a pump grip on this blaster would be pretty cool. Plus, you know me, I like pump better than handle. So we'll see how that goes. And then we got the barrel, of course. It's the orange and red anodized, very nice, by Teriyaki. And then we're going to take a K25, probably snip it down a little bit. I don't know exactly where. I'll have to measure it with the stock spring. But after we're done, this should be getting around to 100 FPS. So before we go ahead and open up the blaster, because that's what we have to do first, of course, is I want to show you something that I don't know if other people stumbled upon this, but I have. But I want to show you that these, this is from the Dart Zone Pro MK 2.1, I believe, and I think this is from like an Aeon Pro. But these actually fit into the Longshot stock part right here. So if you want to use these, they actually fit very well in there. They might look a little goofy, but you know, it's up to you. This one's a little not as snug as the MK 2.1, but you know, you can wiggle it, it's not going to come out. But just thought that was a pretty cool little thing I found. So yeah, I will open this up and we will get everything into it. Alright guys, now that we have the Longshot open, you can see all the bits and pieces. We've been in this thing before, so nothing should really be new if you've seen my older video on it. So the first thing that we have to do is take out that horrible plastic piece here. So I'm just gonna take that out like so. I wanna get my snips because we are not gonna be putting this back in at all. I usually snip it in 2 places so I can get a bigger lengthy piece out. Just make sure that you hold on to the rest because it will want to, the little piece will want to fall down in there. So there we go, you can toss that. I might keep that spring though, just because springs are worth keeping. You never know. So that's in the trash. So let's see here. So the pieces that we are going to be putting in here is this piece, the safety. Actually, I think it's a safety delete. This piece, which I can already see it's this piece, which is basically your mag release. And that's, oh, and the plunger tube, of course. I may put the spring in. I mean, I could probably do that after the fact. Well, actually, let's see. It might be easier after the fact, but we will take the stock spring out to measure the K25 with. So we're going to take this guy out. Just take it off that spring there. So this is your stock piece, and you're going to, I believe, undo the screw back here. Like so. Keep that screw, do not lose it. And you're just going to wiggle that free. That's what you're going to be replacing basically. See? So this is going to go back in just like that. Like a puzzle piece, and then you're going to put that screw right back in that hole there and screw that back in. Again, don't over tighten anything that involves 3D printed parts because it will crack and break, and we all know that story. Okay, that's pretty in there. Maybe a little bit more. Oop. Again, don't want to overdo it, but I want to get it in there so it's screws fairly flat. There we go. Cool. And then you can just put that back in like so. This piece goes down to fit back onto the trigger spring here. So let's see here. Put that back on there like so. What I'm having a problem with is just putting it into that slot there. This almost seems like it's too big. Oh, I see. So do we have to undo that, put that on the outside? Okay. Okay. I guess we gotta do that to both sides when we put it in. So these are hex key, hex locks. So you will have to undo this little tab thing, put it in, and then put this on the outside basically. So we will go ahead and do that. Let me find a hex key that fits. All right, we found a Allen key here. Undo that guy. There we go. Now you should be able to fit into that one side. No problem. There we go. Now the hard part. Well, I'm just going to do it this way. I'm going to take it off this one as well, because when I close the shell, I would have to put this one on anyway. So There we go. So I'm going to keep these to the side until we close it, because those are going to go on the outside. But that spring you can put back on in between those two, like so. There we go. Here's your safety. I'm going to take that out real quick, if we can. There we go. That spring is angry on there. Don't worry, it'll close once the blaster's closed. So here's your safety. Take that out. We're going to put the new safety delete into it. Now, question is which way? I'm going to take a wild guess. Say this way? We'll try it. As long as the groove is pointing up, I believe. I think we're fine. Or actually, down, because that tab has to go through it. Right? Yeah. There we go. That's in there. I'm going to check the other side real quick. Yeah. It's pretty flush with the other side. So that's for that. And this piece, I'm not sure where this goes actually. I have to figure it out. But we're going to take this part apart because we have to replace the plunger tube, of course. So to do that, you're going to have to undo this screw right here. Now this is the same screw that you can take down for the quick disassembly to get your spring out if the blaster is closed. Because once that's out, you pretty much take that out. You take out your whole assembly basically, like so. Take the spring out. Sorry. Take out the spring for now. This thing's a little slippery. Take that out. Leave it just like that. So we know which way it goes. Take the plunger tube off, if we can. There we go. I have the other one. I keep them just in case. Probably no use for them though. Put the new one on like so. It's just like that. This is going to go right back into there and right back in place, I believe. Just like so. And then you can take that same screw, put it right back where it was. I picked the black one just because basically the whole rest of the kit is black. So I figured I'd match everything. Okay, now for this piece. Oh, is this so this basically takes away the mag release. So, and that's because when you put, where is it? When you put this guy in from OutofDarts, it actually, you don't need a mag release. It's just a pull out and push in, which is nice. But that also means that you can't use this guy anymore. So, depending on what you want to do, you can use that. For this purpose, we will be using it. So, I'm going to take that out. This has a retention spring. Well, not a retention spring, but you know what? It has a little spring on it. I'm going to take that off. It's basically in the shape of a Mickey Mouse here. I can get this off of here. Oop. Let's see, can I get that off of there? Yeah, I can. Okay. So there's the stock piece. So basically, the spring looks like that. You're going to put it back on the same way and put this piece back in. like so. And actually, it's going to face down, so the spring going the opposite direction is going to be facing down. That right over there like that. And should just be able to push this down like so. And you're golden. So that piece, you don't really need it. I'm going to keep it just because if I ever do want to switch back to using either this mag adapter or, you know, a regular one, I can. But this one is just, I think it's just a minimalistic version, basically. Yeah, now that I'm seeing it. Okay, is that all we have to do in, well, we're gonna put this piece on the front because this is our new one. So that I believe is going to go, let's see. Let's just see here. Does this go, which way does this go? Ah, there we go. It's gonna go like that. Right onto those two posts, because that's where we took out the old one, I do believe. Wait, is that upside down? Oh, no. This wasn't fitting. Okay, cool. So, the two posts that you usually take out for the teardown, or the easy barrel swap, I guess. I left the screws in them. We're going to put them back now, or at least the pins we're going to put back in place just to hold the orange piece in place for our new muzzle. Ooh, so it doesn't do that. Let's see here. Make sure that it's in the right way. There we go. There's one. And the other one up top. If you don't know the orientation of them, there's one shorter and one longer. The longer one goes on the bottom, I believe, and the shorter one goes up top. And the short one, the little extension on it will be facing upwards. The longer one, it'll be facing downwards. And it's pretty solid right there as is. So, other than that, I think that's it for the inside. Oh, we have to put the K25 in. Nope. I'll probably do that when it's all closed because it may be easier. But I did take the stock spring out, so I'm keeping that for now. I forget. Oh, we have to put the barrel in. That would help. But again, we'll do that when it's all closed because it's actually easier. So I think that's it for now. Am I missing anything? I feel like I'm missing something. And it's eating at me right now. But I think that's it for now. Okay, internally it's done except for the spring in the barrel, but we can do that once it's all closed up. So give me a second, I'll close it back up and we'll put the new barrel in and the new spring in. Alright guys, so before totally buttoning it up to get to the barrel and the spring swap, we do have to do one other thing because I noticed that this piece has to go, which way is it? Here. So basically, it's to keep the stock unadjustable. Is that the right word? Inadjustable, unadjustable, non-adjustable. But basically gives you the full length of the stock, and it gives you more strength in the stock for when it's extended. So we will be putting this in. So all you have to do is since this piece is already off, this piece does come in halves, so you just got to push up on the button here, release it, put it over here. And I believe, hopefully this just slips on, unless I have to actually undo this whole thing, but we will see here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to undo it. That's fine. So, just get an Allen wrench again. This one. There we go. So, I'm going to put this one on this side like so. Just gonna feel around there. Put this back onto here. like so. And then you just put the screws back in, I believe. Alright, now that you got that on, you're going to put the rest of your stock on. I guess you can say it's your stock. I'm just going to try to fit that last little nudge in there in that hole there. Might not need that, for now at least. There we go. Sorry about the sirens, it's always annoying. And then you should just be able to put this on. Like so. And then you can screw all of this together. Alright guys, now that we buttoned up the, I guess the stock block, I guess that's what we're calling it. You know, it kind of blends in with the rest. So you can see the black here and the black here, which looks very cool. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put in back these pieces into the release here. So this one should just go in like so. Get my hex key. Should just twist that right into place. Now when you do put the blaster back together with these new pieces in, you might have to push up on the inside a little bit just to get the safety in there, and the piece that's being connected right now to this piece. But it's not going to take a lot of effort. It's very easy to do. Make that tight. I'm going to flip the blaster over, do the same on the other side. I do love that Drag just didn't put screws in to 3D printed material. I like that he put the kind of like the Loctite stuff in there, so it's very it's not going to ruin anything permanently. So the next step that we're going to do, let's see, I guess the barrel and the spring, right? So again, we're going to take out, actually we left these screws out. These are the screws that go into here. So it should just be able to take this out, maybe? I guess not. Does this just slide out? I guess the new one does not slide out. Well, that's not good. Oh, it's because the pins are in there. So yeah, take the pins out or else it's not going to move. There we go. Then we get a grip on it. Okay. Now we should be able to, yeah. So there's the barrel. So this is the stock barrel. I'm going to take that out. Now, say you want to keep the stock barrel, you can use, again, the other cullet that has like the rifling in it. Just twist it in there, you're good to go. Since we are using a Kuriyaki barrel, I believe this is a 45 centimeter barrel. That's going to be a little bit longer because I do want to put a scar on the end. I'm going to take this barrel out like so, put it to the side. Your hands will be greasy from that because that thing is very lubed up. Now the way that I put this in my other one is I had the orange go in so the red stuck out just because color preference. So yeah, so I'm just going to put in like so, and then before we put this in, we're actually going to do the spring because we have to put it in there. So here's your K25, here's the stock spring, and it looks like I'm going to cut it right about here. Cutters. Get some eye protection here. Open that up. And let's let's see here. About right there. If it's a little bit more or a little bit less, it's fine. If you really want to get technical, you can measure it. We're going to use this piece because I believe that was the same. Or not. This one's more the same. So we'll use this one. So I'll keep that other piece of K25 for another project probably. And then we'll try to square this end. It's going to be a little bit strong. Might have to let it sit for a minute or two. Well, for you guys, it'd probably be a second. For me, it might be an hour. But that's just the way it works. So just like that. We'll let it sit. We'll come back and throw that in, and then we should be good with the inside stuff, and then we'll go to the outside, which is very minimal, and yeah, we'll get to it. Alright guys, now that we have our spring fairly compressed, it's about the same size as our stock, close as it's going to get. So to put this in, we do need to undo that third screw that's right in here. Just like that. This is going to come out, I believe. Alright, now that we got the spring in there, I'm going to take this barrel with the collet on there, put that right in there like so, and we're going to put the pins back in, the lower one on the bottom, or I guess the bigger one on the bottom. Make sure that your collet's pushed all the way down, or else it will not fit hole-wise. Let's see here. There we go. If it doesn't fit at first, use a little elbow grease. Should go right back in. There we go. So that's on. And now once that's on, the hard part is putting that screw up top back in, as you know. But it's not moving, so that's a good sign. And make sure that's actually lined up. Sometimes you do need to fiddle with this just to make sure that the holes are lined up, but once they are, you can put the screw back in. Just like so. And there we go, screws back in. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's in there. And now you can finally put these screws in. Because the pins are in, everything's set there. I usually hold the back of the pin so it doesn't come out. Should button up and tighten pretty easily. There we go. And then, of course, they collet, which goes right over here. And then you just twist it into the front there, kind of push it and twist it. Like so. That way it won't move and won't come out, and it's stuck in there now. And you can put any kind of front scar on it you want. I like this one just because it matches the rest of my blaster. Now I heard different ways to put this on because it is a little loose. You could use hairspray or you could use Teflon tape, which I will try. We'll try a little Teflon tape, see how that works. Let's see here. I need... Yeah, probably just tear it. Just a little bit. Roll the rest up, put that away. If you don't have any Teflon tape, use hairspray. If you don't have any Teflon tape and you want Teflon tape, OutofDarts has it for sale for cheap. And then, a moment of truth here. Fits on like a glove, and that thing ain't moving now. So perfect. What's our next step? I guess the pump grip. We'll put that on next. This is by Drac. Same kind of thing. You're gonna need your Allen key to get those screws out. Oh, not that one. This one? Nope, not that one. I have the right one out here. Did I move it? Ah, there it is. Undo it a little more. There we go. So it has two screws that go into these two opposing holes here, and that just goes right on the grip there like so. And this will go on that side, and then you just button it up and tighten it just like it was. There's one, and the other one, of course. Again, the pump is just for preference. You can stick with the grip. You can even use, I believe, worker ones. I think I said that in a previous video. The only one that I know that won't fit on there is the Try-On stock foregrip. There it is. Feels nice, but I'm not going to dry fire it. Once we get all done, we'll do some firing over the chronograph. Top rail. And I believe this top rail just slides over the existing one because it does have a sliding thing in there. If these are extended, just unscrew them a little bit so they're not poking in. You want this flush to go along this because if it's sticking out, it's not going to move. All right, and if it doesn't slide on there, because mine got stuck, I use my rubber mallet. I just stood it up, and make sure that you're hitting right where the main part is. Don't want to hit out here or in here because it could split. But just be careful, just go slow. And as you can see now it's flush, so it looks great now. But that might be a little inconvenience. Now, let's see, is this weighted equally now? A little heavy, but that's fine. Because you will have a mag in the back, which is our next thing to put in. So here's the one from OutofDarts. Once you put this in, you can only use short darts. You can't switch between the two. And if you're upgrading the spring, why would you be using long darts? So this should just pop in there like that. You can remove it if you really need to. You pull on this, if I can grip it. There we go, it's coming out. It may get stuck, but again, if you're putting this in, why would you switch out? But you can switch it if you really need to. The more times that you do push it in and out, it'll wear down the strain a little bit, so it'll be easier in the long run. But for now, I'm gonna leave that guy in there. And basically, now that we have the grip on, this part on, we're now done. There is one other piece from Goop. He made these cheek rests. Now there's two variants. He made me both. And oddly enough, these are not hard plastic like these guys. These are actually flexible. And when I first saw them, I was like, are those rubber? And he goes, no, but almost. But to use these, you can't use this. So it's up to you and your preference. I probably will take this out now, just so I can use this. I'm gonna use this guy. So we're gonna use this one. This is the more angled one of the two, with a higher cheek rest. So give me 1 second, I'll take this guy out and we'll put that guy on. Alright guys, I went ahead and took these guys off. This, I believe, just slaps on the back here. So the big part is gonna go over here, and this is just gonna hook underneath here. And there you go. Cool. Actually feels really good. Very nice. I'm gonna have to put an optic on this, and then we gotta go fire and see what kind of FPS we get with the K25 in there. So yeah, see you guys in a minute. Here we are with the newly modified outside and inside Longshot. Now, I had a slight problem with some test firing, and what it was is the trigger kept getting stuck. It would only pull back like that, or it would get stuck all the way back here and it wouldn't move. So eventually I'd be like slam firing the thing, which isn't good. So what I found out what it was is I found out it was the safety delete, this piece. It wasn't having enough space in between the groove there. So I tried to sand it twice actually, and it was still sticky, so I just took it out. I'm not gonna even use it. You don't even notice it being gone. It's just like there's a hole in there, but whatever. But now I can move the trigger freely, so that's what you want. So other than that problem, I think that's it. I load up an 18 round mag here with some worker bamboo darts, the black ones. We'll see what kind of FPS ratings we're gonna get. Hopefully near 200. Again, I haven't really tested this except for trying to move the trigger part, because that was the problem. But let's see what we get. 147, a little low. 183, that's better. 187, 178, 171, 150, 161, 167, 190, 166, and we're out. So yeah, the other thing that I noticed on this guy is, say you want to take this out, you could just pull it out like that, or you could just pull this down and take out the whole thing if you really want to. But you know, it's basically just a tear out, which is fine. You do have to slam it in there, just like so, but you know, whatever. But overall, the kit's really good, minus that safety. Maybe a little bit more room dremeled into that safety, just so the trigger can go along it or something. I don't know. So if I were you, maybe put a little, the only two things that I would do that I didn't really film is, one, don't put the safety in, because that will mess you up probably, like it did me. I'd open this blast like, I don't know, 4 times. And I cut the spring a little bit short, so I used the other half of the spring that I originally cut. So that's what the ranges are getting now. I actually need to order more K25, because I may cut a piece or a couple pieces just on lengthwise to get right under 200 for for Ragnarok Oktoberfest. So, other than that, guys, this is it, all done. I think it looks pretty sick. Now, I do want to point out one thing. Now that the Harrier parts are done, you saw the priming block, the front priming block that Saber is going to come out with for the Harrier. The next project that they are going to work on is your boy, the Longshot. I only have one piece to show you right now. They are working on other pieces. Right now, it's just an R&D rendering. So look for that in the future from Saber. I will be picking some up, of course, because this deserves metal upgrades if you're shooting well over 200. Because the shell's nice, but the plastic inside is not nice. So yeah, I think it'll be a good addition to this. Your blaster will become a little bit heavier, but not too much. But I'm excited for what they're going to be putting out. I do have some bad news though. I talked to them about a couple other blasters. Said that they were not going to be considering them with upgrade parts. One is the Unicorn, which some people love. I thought it was great for, you know, the people that put it out. If they put out another blaster, it'd be even better if it was like, you know, regular primary size. But for close quarter combat, it is great. But they're not going to be working on any internal parts for that guy. And I know a lot of people wanted metal parts for the Tryon by Gameface. Sadly, they will not be putting any into that. Most likely because that blaster tops out about 250, I think. And it's not worth the effort for them. You know, it's just not. Especially because the company, Gameface, they put one blaster out basically the whole year, and that was it. So my guess is if it was a bigger name with more blasters in the line besides the Tryon, they probably would have thrown some money at it and made some metal parts. But other than that, that's all I got for you. On a better note, I did order my Seagull. I can't tell you from who, I can't tell you from where yet, but I will have it before October. So that's very exciting. Can't wait to show you guys. I did order the khaki color just because I didn't want to wait for the white. I was debating between the blue/purple blaster and the khaki. I'm not going to color up the khaki or anything. If anything, I'm going to put lighter stuff on it just because. But other than that, guys, that's all I got for you for tonight. For the next video, we will be looking at Etsy Creators project that I bought from him. Actually, 2 projects that I got from him. I'll put his logo up here. See if you know what we're going to be looking at next. And no, you cannot guess if you're the guy that created it. I know who you are, so don't answer. But everybody else take a guess. Other than that, guys, I will see you guys in the next video. Please like, follow, share, subscribe, and I'll see you later. All right?